Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Bahak Kadash. All praises, honor, and glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, Great Millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up about surveillance, and you will own enough and be happy type of stuff, and you're not allowed to fix your own car, and all kind of shit. Based about control. But anyway, I'm going to play these videos. I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability, say whatever God say through the spirit and power, Yahweh Bashim Shah, the Holy Spirit, the Kurhak Kadash, Lord willing to be on me. Let's get it.
I bought my dream BMW about a month and a half ago, and I only had it for a week before it broke down, and it's been in the shop ever since.
You could go to jail for working on your own car. Sounds dramatic, but that's exactly what the manufacturers were pushing on their last little field trip to DC.
I just put my 2 weeks notice in. I've been a Ford transmission tech for 12 years now. This industry has changed a lot in the last 10 years.
I took my Bronco in for an oil change and a tire rotation. As soon as I made the left turn, my right front wheel fell off of my car. I'm inserting photos here.
There is a war going on between car manufacturers and owners. They do not want us fixing our own vehicles, going so far as to try to make it illegal.
I got quoted $500 to fix my stupid sun visor. You know why they said it was $500? Let me tell you. Because of parts. I found a replacement on Amazon for $50. About to watch probably like 2 TikToks, maybe a YouTube video. I'm gonna replace this. Oh my god. Who did that? Me.
This is exactly what car manufacturers are fighting to prevent. A car owner with no car knowledge watching a YouTube video figuring out how to fix their own car, saving over $500 to replace a sun visor. It was recently revealed that Ford, General Motors, and Roger Penske met with President Trump to discuss the right to repair. All the CEOs declined to say what the meeting was about, but the president made it clear, claiming the automakers, they don't want people to fix their car. They want a bill that prohibits people from fixing their car. After Trump's comment, a reporter caught up with Ford CEO Jim Farley to get his thoughts.
But you don't want people repairing their own vehicles?
No, that's fine. Not for warranty work, though. These are very complicated cars, and we don't think that's safe. For many of the repairs on our vehicles, someone at home like myself could never do it. I mean, I have no problem working on a 73 Bronco. To work on a brand new Bronco, I need all sorts of specialty tools. That's something that, we would put people's lives at risk.
The two things he really focuses on are the safety of the vehicles and the complexity, claiming these vehicles now require special tools and that Ford would be putting people's lives at risk by allowing owners to fix their own vehicles. About those special tools, here's a comment from a retired...
Well, it's gonna be like special, like, I know like European vehicles, they need different type of sockets and shit or whatever. They shit is different from American sockets. What they did, I guess so. They're talking about specialty tools like that.
GM technician. They created proprietary scan tools, special tools that only they can buy, and vehicles that are difficult even for dealership-trained technicians to work on so that...
Well, goddamn, that's even harder for the dealership folks, the official people working on them.
You have to go to the dealership. That's the whole point. Cars now require special tools because the manufacturers have built them to require special tools. And this comment echoes what other technicians are saying online.
Look, man, if you guys are considering being a mechanic, don't. This is one of the most intense, and like the amount of tools required, the amount of investment required, the amount of training required.
They gotta spend more money on these extra tools when they just already spent thousands of dollars on the set of tools they have. And now they gotta get more, I guess. I don't know.
It beats up on your body. You're 30, feeling like 70. Your hands are all beat up every day. It's a thankless job. You're underappreciated, severely underpaid. Just the knowledge and training that you have to go through to get to any sort of proficient level. Cars are getting more and more complex by the day. They're no longer just, 4 wheels and an engine. It's 42 computers on board, and you're more of a software engineer than you are a mechanic.
Cars today require way more knowledge of software and hardware, things that previous generations didn't need to know. But it's not just the software, it's how they're physically putting these cars together, almost as if they don't want them fixed.
I done had to take a 20-minute break, bro. Look at this. I don't even know what the I'm doing, bro. I gotta replace a fuel pump. I only quoted 5 hours. I gotta take out the seat. I gotta rewire all the
This is why people don't want to be fucking technicians anymore, and they're tired of this bullshit. You gotta do all this. You gotta take all this shit out. You gotta take all that shit out, just so you can change a fucking one little bolt right there on the bottom. You gotta do all that just so you can change one bolt right there. Fuck this thing.
Shit. Fuck this world, man.
That car.
So this is why nobody wants to be a technician anymore.
But wait a minute. If that's all he had to change the one bolt, why is he changing out the valve cover? I guess he had to change the valve, take the valve cover off just to get to that one bolt. I don't know.
Fully remove the front bumper, fully remove the lower shutter grill, remove the upper cowl, about 18 clips, about 16 screws. Had to loosen the right side of the intercooler here, dislodge the outlet just to add washer fluid.
Hold on. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you... wait a minute. To add washer fluid? Are you fucking kidding me, bruh? What year is this fucking car? Let me see. Let me see if it's true. Which Honda car do you have to replace? Oh, fuck. I can't even pronounce the word. Let me start over. Starting over. Let's start over. Which are... oh, I can't even go. Here we go. I hate this shit when it happens. Come on, start over, nigga. Which Honda automobile known to remove the front bumper just to refill washer fluid? I guess that's the best way I can say it. There is no Honda automobile that requires you to remove the front bumper just to refill washer fluid. And I know that's bullshit. That can't be. This got to be bullshit, bro. Just to replace the reservoir, maybe. Did he say replace the reservoir or to refill washer fluid?
Right. Remove the upper cowl, about 18 clips, about 16 screws. Had to loosen the right side of the intercooler here, dislodge the outlet just to add washer fluid.
No, that's bullshit. This nigga full of shit. Anyway, no, that's bullshit. Ain't no way in fucking hell. Ain't no way in hell. And usually the washer fluid, that little thing don't even supposed to be there. That shit doesn't even supposed to be in that location. It's supposed to be up or higher in area so you can get to it. I don't know what the fucking... this is Honda, bro. You seen the Honda? Yeah, I know you seen that Honda bumper. I know. No, Honda ain't doing no shit like that, bro.
Remove the lower shutter grill. Remove the upper...
this guy full of shit. He's a liar.
Technicians from BMW and Honda complaining about these same vehicles. If it's hard for trained
I don't know about that shit, bro. I think this nigga's full of shit.
Technicians, how are independent...
unless, I mean, AI generated... I mean, AI generated... ask AI about this shit. Let me see. Hold on. On all Hondas, the washer fluid reservoir has an accessible filler neck with a... okay, well, yeah, it's all that shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but whatever.
Independent mechanics or owners supposed to fix these vehicles. And it's not just how they put it together, it's these components themselves. They should be easy to swap out, but they're making sure you can't do that.
They are literally building these cars so that you throw them away when they break. Literally, just throw them away when they break. Don't replace it, don't fix it, just throw it away. So I'm installing a camera system, and I messed up. Somehow I got myself locked. So basically the door was shut, I pulled on it really hard, door opens, but as you can tell, I broke this. Just a little plastic piece, I broke it. No biggie, I'll look online, can't find it. I understand it's a newer car, this is 23. It's called the dealer. So the guy on the phone, he spent like 10 minutes. He actually had to call me back, calls me back and says, actually, we can't just get the door handle. I'm like, what do you mean you can't just get the door handle? You have to order the entire door panel. He even said it comes with a new window switch. And then I realized, because I took the dang thing back off, he's not kidding. They've molded the plastic around it. You cannot get this off. You cannot get that out. I get, like, this should never break.
I mean, I know damn well that is, I don't know.
Right? But how many times have you replaced a window switch in a car? It gets wet with water. What are you going to tell me I need a whole new door panel? It's only a cool $525.
Just like how Apple has soldered all of the components together.
Yeah, going there with Apple. So you don't do no upgrades. They soldered everything together so you can't do an upgrade and whatever.
so that if you try to repair the iPhone, you break all the parts inside. That's what car manufacturers are now doing. You can't just buy the door handle, you have to buy the entire door panel. Going to the comments. Just like televisions, washing machines, vacuum cleaners, there used to be repairmen and businesses that used to exist for things. There's a reason they want legislation requiring us to take our vehicles to the dealership. The dealership is going to price gouge us on the parts and the labor. They charge a high door rate. That's the hourly rate for service done by a technician, but that money doesn't even go to the technician.
Mechanics are not paid what the door rate is. We absolutely aren't. And if anything, the higher the door rate goes, our wages stay the same. So the door rate's been going up and up and up, and our pay has been staying the same for almost 40 years. This is the reason I quit my last job. The door rate went up and they took money away from us. It's incredible. And you'll see in a lot of videos why mechanics are quitting. It's the same old story. And it's a powerful story. Is corporations, huge conglomerates, they're nickel and diming mechanics when we're the money makers. When I first got in, my teacher said it was supposed to be 33% of the door rate. We're not even at 20% anymore.
The dealerships are charging a crazy hourly rate, and the technician...
I'm gonna stop right there. If you want to watch this chick channel or the rest of this video, there go the title of the video, there go the channel. Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, man. It's pretty shitty. I'm about tired of driving anyway. And it ain't even just mechanics. Hell, what about... Well, I won't say we're dealing with cars, but lawnmowers. Shit. John Deere's a piece of shit. Anyway, let's get to the next video. See what's going on with this chick in Russia.
Ну что, друзья, еще не забыли знаменитую фразу Клауса Шваба «У тебя ничего не будет, и ты будешь счастлив». Ну, она у нас с вами...
Wait a minute. There's no damn... I guess she forgot the damn... The generate. Man, I don't know about this. I thought there was auto... Yeah, I thought it had the... This is in English. But I thought she had the... You know what I'm talking about. The audio... The audio... The generate audio shit, or auto dub, or whatever you call it. AI auto dub.
прям-таки сегодня развивается в России, и ее продвигают прям открыто.
Shit, I got a damn subtitle here in her ass. I mean, I gotta turn on the subtitle and hear her speaking another language.
Прямым текстом все наши с вами депутаты, там вся эта Госдума, она прямым текстом вам говорит: вы бессовестные, наглые, значит, недовольны.
She is one pink ass bitch.
Каким-то там отсутствием бензина, каким-то там отсутствием...
Bitch is not white, she's pink. If she was white, she'll be damn near, you couldn't even see her skin. Her skin would be matching up with the wall, you know?
Интернета, какими-то там летающими дронами и сиренами. Вы недовольны? Да вы счастливы должны сидеть и молчать.
Бензина нет. Ну, я еще помню, мое поколение помнит, как еда вообще была по карточкам. Вы не помните, что ли? В моем городе, в Краснодаре, в 92-м году купоны были, мы их вырезали, ходили. А я лично ходила с ведрами в возрасте там 11-12.
I'm not gonna play all this. I didn't even know what it says. Russia leads the world in the what that nigga cop swab, corn on the cob agenda. No private cars, but you're surprised to be, I mean, you're supposed to be happy. I don't know why I get this surprise, but anyway. I don't know. What is this about? Oh, about heat waves and shit. Let me say that because I want to do another plague video. The Lord plaguing people. It says Russian soldiers throw from helicopter. Gun torrent. Yeah, let me get back to the video.
И до этого еще лет. За водой, а не за Кока-Колу.
I was gonna say, you know what? Let me just stop right here because I thought this chick had this video in the auto, what was it, the translation, and the audio translated into what AI and shit into English. If you want to watch the rest of this video, be my guest. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. See what it's talking about. The UN, car. What did she say? Car camera. New cars are monitoring drivers. Yeah.
You urgently need to hear this information. Anyone who buys a new car in the European Union these days is also getting a surveillance camera included as a standard feature. G'day. You urgently need to hear this information. Anyone who buys a new car in the European Union these days is also getting a surveillance.
It's funny. They'll throw in all this surveillance shit in your car as a standard, but damn sure ain't no option. But then when you want something, put it on as a standard, but no, it's actually an option. Like, I don't know. Probably a rear backup camera. let's say you want a rear backup camera installed in your vehicle, but that's an option. But then, damn, you got the cameras that can watch your ass. That's a standard.
Surveillance camera included as a standard feature. D. Mandatory and cannot be permanently switched off. However, it does not look at the road, it looks at it. The responsible citizen becomes a permanent suspect in his own car.
I think this is auto. Yeah, I think he's speaking. Yeah, this is auto dub. But that other chick, she ain't even doing an auto dub on that other video. Let me see something. What does this guy talk about? Okay, everything else is in his language. I don't know what language he's speaking. I think it's German. I don't know. But whatever.
Yes, you don't have to be a prophet to guess that this was not the last camera that Brussels will screw into the lives of Europeans. What has been in effect since last Tuesday, July 7th, is EU Regulation 2019/2144. It is part of the so-called General Safety Regulation, and with immediate effect, it mandates an advanced driver distraction warning system, or ADDW, for all newly registered vehicles, which include passenger cars, vans, trucks, and buses, as part of the safety requirements that are now required for the road. The requirement has already been in place for new vehicle types since 2014. The transition period has now expired. No new car without eye tracking. Technically, the systems generally work with an infrared camera on the steering column, dashboard, or interior mirror, which constantly measures the driver's head position, eye position, and line of sight. If the driver's gaze wanders out of the defined field of vision for more than 3.5 seconds at a speed of more than 50 kilometers per hour, for example towards the center console or passenger footwell, the system is triggered. Warning light, beep, seat vibration, and between 20 and 50 kilometers per hour, the threshold is set at 6 seconds. The system is automatically activated from around 20 kilometers per hour, and anyone who switches it off has gained nothing. The camera is awake again every time the vehicle is started. So much for the theory of the lifesaver. The real issue is the digital noose. It is tightening because something else is created in the end. A vehicle that seamlessly measures records and evaluates its owner without any gaps in the data.
And so this shit's going worldwide, bro. This ain't just in one location or one country. This shit's turning global. This new world order, it's happening. I mean, it's been happening, but I mean, they ramping shit up. And hey, they go online, it's gonna be that time to get them chip implants. We're gonna be pushing that shit crazy and heavy too, worldwide. Just you wait. The mark of the beast.
Brussels has left the crucial question unanswered. What happens to the data? The regulation indeed mandates these systems must operate within a closed circuit and are strictly prohibited from performing any form of biometric identification. But the camera is installed. The infrastructure is in every new car on the continent. Anyone who believes that surveillance technology, once it has been installed, will permanently remain limited to its original purpose should really take the time to read the history of toll cameras, cell phone tower queries, and data retention once again to see how those uses have expanded. The basic rights are coming, they always come. And today, vehicle data is a business. Cases in which data on movements and driving behavior from network cars ended up with insurance companies. And data brokers have in fact been documented. The camera in the cockpit is the next logical component of a digital course that the citizens did not order, but which is being fitted onto them piece by piece, as if it were inevitable. First the chat control and the debate, then the digital identity, but now the scrutinizing look at the face at the wheel. No one disputes that distraction at the wheel kills. The EU Commission estimates that their share of these accidents is 10 to 30%. A well-calibrated warning system, yes, can save lives. Voluntarily chosen, properly adjusted, transparently regulated. But what was decided in the Kraftrat on July 7 is something else. A comprehensive, non-deselectable driver monitoring system with a documented high error alarm rate and a completely unresolved question regarding data. Once again, responsible citizens are becoming permanent suspects in their own cars. You don't have to be a prophet to guess that this wasn't the last camera that Brussels will screw into the lives.
But you do have to be a prophet to warn people about the chip implant, mainly your people, the Hebrew Israelites, because it's coming down to that chip implant. Yeah, well, man, these false prophets don't know shit. But the Wadi Yahweh Shemal Shah for showing us the truth and preach this word to our people. And let them know to repent, turn back, and do the best you can do. Hey man, this shit's going down, bro. Kiss all that fucking bullshit. Get all that bullshit. Kiss that shit goodbye. All this old shit. You stressing over bills, stressing over this, stressing. I'm starting to not give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about this shit. Fuck this shit. Fuck these goddamn people. Fuck these motherfuckers, man. Fuck these damn. Oh, fuck. Excuse my language, but fuck this shit. Leave this world behind, man. I know shit ain't falling yet. A certain way you got to move in this world, in this society. But, man, this bitch about to crumble. And these niggas, hey, man, fuck this fucking world, bro. I feel right now. I'll just be like, fuck this motherfucker. Sorry, I hate this world so much.
Opinions. Don't get that idea? Okay, then I'll disconnect you. Or tape it over. That might work for a while, but eventually the accident report will come, and then the insurance company, and almost certainly the police will be asking them questions. More information, including daily updates.
Alright, anyway, next video. Hey man, this world's about to be some shit, some oppressive ass stuff. Now this right here, they make it seem like, I don't know, let's just play it.
Detour for teenagers using a Waymo who were stopped by police after they were reported for drinking alcohol and shooting toy guns from that self-driving vehicle.
San Mateo police detaining the two riders after they were alerted by Waymo. KTV's.
But the way I look at it, okay, that's good. They got these two little fuckers. They riding a Waymo and doing dumb shit, being drunk and shooting toy guns. But and they brought them to the police. The Waymo brought them. They delivered the little fucking badass little niggas to the police. But what if it was you? Yeah, what if it was you driving in a self-driven car? And got me no Waymo. It could be anything else. What if it was you that a self-driving car was ordered to kill your ass? In the car, or you outside the car, and the motherfucker come and mow your ass down? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the reason I'm playing this video. But anyway, let's listen in to what they got to say.
Jana Katsuyama joining us now live in San Mateo with details on this case. Jana.
Well, right here along El Camino Real near 20th Avenue, and the traffic stop happened across the street in the shopping center over there. It all came after this very unusual call to police by a Waymo operator, and it was a surprise to them when they found what was inside. The Waymo taxi traffic stop came after San Mateo police received a disturbing call around 2:10 Monday afternoon.
They reported that the passengers were raising and lowering the suspected firearm, and they could see what they called a recoil.
A Waymo operator had been watching cameras inside the driverless taxi and reported that two passengers appeared to be firing a gun out of the windows of the vehicle.
They described it as a black firearm. They saw it going up and down. They saw it kind of being passed back and forth, being hid from passerbys, and then they did say the recoil.
Police say the Waymo support operator then directed the vehicle to...
So, was it a toy? It was a real gun?
Pull over along El Camino Real.
What they were able to do...
I don't know. They won't make no gunshots.
For us was basically pull over into a parking lot and tell the subjects that the vehicle had become disabled.
Within minutes, about a half dozen San Mateo police were there and surrounded the vehicle. What they found were two 15-year-old boys inside who appeared to have been drinking alcohol and had a toy gun.
They did start searching property, and we found what we're calling an Orbeez water gun, and backpacks, their personal property, as well as an open container of alcohol.
Police say the gel-like Orbeez pellets can be dangerous, and the gun was painted to look like a real firearm.
We've seen lots of youngsters using...
Man, these niggas, they ain't no youngsters. Those are some adults, young adults. Shit.
BB guns, water guns, toy guns, and then painting them black so that they look like real firearms, and that causes real danger to...
Yeah, they ass get blown away, and that be judgment from stupid motherfuckers. But anyway, I ain't give a fuck about them anyway. It was just the point. I was just curious about this video, and the way the title says is that it's like the car, the Waymo, they give a reason to have Waymos, you know, I guess to send people to the police if they acting up and some shit. That's what I look at. Yeah, they send your ass. If you get out of line, they'll lock the car in. I don't know. They just do some shit when you in their vehicles, or even a self-driving vehicle. These niggas have the power to lock you up in the car and send you to the police department, or send you to over a damn bridge to your death. You know, over a cliff, falling to your death. It ain't no telling. Fuck that shit. I don't trust this fucking shit. Let's get to the next one. She ain't that bad.
And I think when you turn
I was like, that Edomite bitch ain't that bad looking for her age.
a camera into a fashion accessory,
She ain't that bad looking either.
it makes it palatable to a much, much wider audience of people, particularly women. It would definitely not be cool if she was just sticking a camera on top of her head and filming things. That would be viewed as strange and creepy.
20 years ago, carrying a camera everywhere and snapping photos of everything you did and everything that was happening around you would have seemed insane and invasive. Today, that behavior is universal. Meta just released their new AI smart glasses, and we might be in a similar moment. Kylie Jenner is shilling the product. We have West Village girlies and fashion lifestyle influencers talking about how great the spectacles are, and women all over Twitter are talking about how they're about to have a hot surveillance summer. And I think it
What? Are you serious? Did she say that?
great the spectacles are, and women all over Twitter.
Damn, it sure do. Fuck it. It's surveillance summer. Man. So if that's the case, let me get all in your business, bitch. Yeah, let me get all up in your business. Let somebody get it. I don't want to be in your business. Let somebody else get in your business, bitch. Stalking you and shit. Anyway.
Are talking about how they're about to have a hot surveillance summer. And I think it begs the question, will this summer be the moment where we all kind of accepted this new reality of public life, where personalized AI...
And hey, if somebody like Esau looking for somebody and they're not around cameras like, you know, stationary cameras or flock cameras, he might get lucky and spot somebody he's hunting down. If that person that wearing Meta glasses if there's a person walking past the person you hunting down wearing Meta glasses. Hey, that remind me, it was a movie. Heck yeah, this dude. Oh yeah, that was a Jason Statham movie. He was trying to be he was a agent or something, a foreign soldier, and he was trying to stay off the grid. He was living off this island, and this girl, well, her dad was sending this dude some food every now and then, and the girl, you know, whatever. Anyway, the man was spotted. I think that was, yeah, he left the island. I think he left the island because the girl got hurt or something. Well, she was sick, so he had to leave the island. Long story, but he had to leave the island to go get some medicine for this girl, and he got spotted by just a camera. He was spotted in the corner of a camera, and boom, they found his ass. They found out he was alive, and you know, all that other shit.
Surveillance is completely...
But yeah, you won't be able to get away from this damn devil with cameras everywhere. Even these people, they're like agents and they don't even know it. They got the cameras on their head, on their face, and they can easily spot that Esau can know where the hell you at, bro.
Normalized and integrated into culture. To discuss all of this, I have iconic journalist Amy Odell. She runs the Back Row News.
She kind of look like Gina Davis.
Letter,
like a young version of Gina Davis.
Covers fashion, culture, and power. Hi, Amy. Welcome to Power User.
I'm so excited to be here.
So I kind of want to take people back a little bit before talking about the Meta glasses and talk about, I guess, surveillance 1.0 tech. I mean, obviously, when we talk about smart glasses, everyone thinks of Google Glass. And it's funny because I was looking back and I never realized that Google Glass couldn't record anything.
Nah, she don't look like Gina Davis. She look, fuck it.
Thing.
I don't think I realized that either. My main memory of Google Glass is just that aesthetically it was an abomination. And I remember being actually at South by Southwest in the 2010s, and there were a couple people wearing them. We're like, oh my God, can you believe these people are actually wearing these things?
It's funny though, because they really tried to make it seem fashionable. They put them on like the Diane von Furstenberg runway. You know, they gave them to the influencers of the time. I feel like it had not a dissimilar rollout to these Meta glasses. Maybe it was just the design and functionality were just not there yet. I actually did try them myself at the time as a tech reporter. You could kind of get directions, which I found to be useful. They weren't full glasses. They were like these kind of like frames that you put on your face, and then it had like a little like glass square right here. And you know, you could see Google Maps, like if you were walking the wrong way to dinner or something, it would just be in front of your face and tell you to go a different way.
I guess that could be useful, but you'd have to wear them.
Yeah, looking back, I think like the functionality was just not there. And the AR kind of idea of using these glasses in the real world, I think it made sense, but I wouldn't have wanted to wear that thing on my face. You know, I could just look down at my phone and see if I was going the wrong way.
Yeah, as every
kind of fucks you up if you got glasses and you got to wear the glasses, but can't wear them. I'm talking about glasses like prescription glasses. But whatever.
Everyone does when you're walking around, say, New York City.
The first glasses that could really record easily were Snapchat Spectacles, which launched in 2016. So Snapchat had their own smart glasses. They also did an influencer rollout. These were kind of clunky black glasses that were very like in style at the time. They looked very like 2016. And they had this little yellow circle on the side that could allow you to record and post directly to Snapchat.
Oh, right. They were only $130.
To call them smart glasses, I think, is honestly misleading. I had these glasses. I waited in line for these glasses because I wanted to try them out, and Snapchat was being so particular. Like, they wouldn't give them to reporters ahead of time, and the only way you could get them was to go to one of these vending machines that they dropped in random places around the country. So they put them on like a college campus, they put them whatever, and they had dropped some vending machines in New York. So anyway, these glasses were just like regular sunglasses. I don't even think they really partnered with some special brand on them, and they couldn't do anything except be used as sunglasses and record short videos to post on Snapchat. I think you had to record even 15 seconds at a time or whatever the sort of Snapchat limit was. Initially, they just came in black. Then they put them in these sort of very 2016, like turquoise, blue color. And they were pretty viral, I would say, at the time, but they also just looked corny. And I feel like they never really took off with the right crowd.
They didn't take off.
Yeah, just at that moment, to train people up, get them used to this shit with the surveillance and shit. Man, we gotta get out of here. This shit is insanity. These people are fucking stupid. They fall for any damn thing.
I don't remember them taking off in fashion. Incidentally, at the time that these came out, I was working at Hearst, and we had a partnership with Snapchat where we would sort of funnel our content into Snapchat. And they had different publishers with different tiles in the app, and you could tap on one and see Cosmopolitan or whoever else was in, or Vogue maybe, whoever else was in there. And I think at the time, Kylie Jenner was really blowing up on Snapchat, right?
Yes, but they didn't get her for the campaign. They really didn't have influencers as part of this campaign. They tried to do the like exclusivity route where I think they like made it really hard to get. Not everyone could have them. So there was a little bit of virality for a minute because it was like a status symbol for maybe 3.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about this shit. So what's the point of all this shit? Talk about that. I gotta skip. I don't know what they're gonna talk about at this time.
Exactly. And I feel like Meta starts to really answer that question in 2025 because 2025 is when they make a few changes. Number one, they partner with Oakley. They released the Oakley Meta glasses, which is, I would say, going more into that GoPro area.
Okay, they're going in more of these brands.
But then the idea was, look at this race I ran, and then, into one spy. Who was the first influencer that you saw? You pointed that out because I don't think the Complex interview got really like a hard look at it. I think like
shit like this, they're gonna be using influencers to promote the chip implants, to market the beast. Like, hey man, I got this chip implant, it's awesome. The holograms coming out of my hands. It's detecting my health rate. If I'm diabetic, already, the motherfuckers probably got a installation of a insulation pump or insulin pump. I don't know if they probably have one installed inside of somebody. I don't know. They gonna promote, like I just said, they gonna promote the damn chip implants. I mean, I don't know what these bitches gonna have features of doing, but maybe, curing people of blindness and all that dumb shit. They promote, but I can tell they gonna use celebrities or influencers promote the chip implant just like they promoting this shit. Why did I bring that up? I don't know. I just felt like it. I don't know where I just felt like saying that. Just like anything else that's critical, that's important to know and be aware of.
Let's take a hard look at that too.
Yeah, so she's going to be put under scrutiny that look, we should be asking these hard questions. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying why was Cleo Abram, who used to work at Vox, not subject to the same,
Yeah, that's interesting. I did not know that was his strategy, was to just sort of speak selectively to influencers. But that's really interesting. I mean, that's a blueprint for other people.
Well, that's a big way that he's been able to rehab his image. So with the whole, he really started doing it around, when he grew out his hair and
Gen Z curls, yeah.
That is when he started to really go into these online spaces. It's also when he started to talk more about content creators, right? This is when they got into sort of the creator economy stuff. And I think Zuckerberg also recognized the role that influencers are playing in political world. And he's trying to, he does these partnerships and goes and speaks with just an ever-growing list of content creators, none of whom ask him any hard questions, none of whom really, press him on any of this stuff. So not to excuse, maybe a softball interview in Feed Me, but he's going into this well-established format in that newsletter and participating.
All right, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, what happened to the surveillance? Anyway. She probably would get into that type of conversation if she was interviewing a male. But they talking about some bunch of shit. Well, we know what it's leading to coming down to. Surveillance, pretty much. Eyes everywhere. Esau want to see where you going and also hear what you're going. Because don't forget, it ain't just about what he sees, it's about what he's hearing. Because they got microphones everywhere. Yeah, she's speaking of microphone. Got this big ass microphone in front of her face. Let's get to this next one.
We have cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
We are in the middle of a full-blown surveillance takeover. While most people were just trying to get to work, drop off the kids, or grab groceries, a quiet invasion rolled into towns and cities all across the United States, turning American streets, and soon enough Canadian ones, if they get their way, into a 24/7 surveillance grid. Flock's surveillance cameras are spreading fast across the U.S., with more than 100,000 of these AI-powered Flock surveillance cameras now lining American roads. This isn't tomorrow, guys. This is right now. And if we don't expose it and fight it, your neighborhood is next. These cameras aren't just snapping plates. They're building searchable databases of your every move. They're smart machines running Android, solar-powered units on poles, feeding AI and streaming footage to a cloud that catalogs your car, your stickers, your route, and even you yourself, all searchable in seconds. Police in one state can search data from cameras hundreds of thousands of miles away. And in many cases, that data has been quietly accessed by federal agencies like ICE, the FBI, the ATF, and Customs and Border Protection, all without local authorization or public knowledge. 53 cities have already canceled over unauthorized federal data access. Dayton, Ohio had to bag their cameras like trash because contracts trapped them. But here's where it gets personal. These systems aren't just invasive. They're making mistakes that ruin innocent lives. Check out this clip of a woman who was wrongfully accused of stealing a package after police used a Flock camera to ID her vehicle. They showed up at her front door and confronted her like a criminal. She had to prove her own innocence just to clear her name. This is the public safety they're selling, or is it a dragnet that turns every single driver into a potential suspect until proven otherwise?
We have cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
Chrisana Elzer learned the power of Flock firsthand.
You were in town from 11:52 until 12:09. Exactly. Like I said, nothing gets in or out of the town without us knowing.
When a Colorado police officer showed up at her door holding Flock snapshots of her truck.
And here's when you left at 12:09. That's when you left town. No, to stop at Ridge Trail.
Wait a minute.
And take a package. Well, there's no shushing. I don't need to be.
I need to know where this is.
The first thing he pulled out on the body cam is that Flock picture, the clear photograph of your car.
But here's your vehicle in the neighborhood many, many times, apparently casing houses, because you just can't drive through for work or visit other businesses. You can only be casing houses.
It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure. 100%. It is certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to court.
Chrisana was charged with stealing a package, but it wasn't her. The porch pirate was somebody else.
Yeah, that does look like her.
With 100%. It is certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to court.
Chrisana was charged with stealing a package, but it wasn't her.
That looked like her. That looked like her, but let that be Jake. Shit. Be one Israelite. Oh, no. You could say, no, AI be so fucked up, they'll probably say it'd be an Edomite bitch, but it'd be a Israelite man, a dark-ass Israelite man. I don't know. AI be on some weird shit. And you know they do that shit on purpose when it comes to you, Jakes. Falsely accuse you of something you didn't do. I'm surprised they falsely accusing an Edomite woman of something she didn't do. Now, that looked like her, too. Oh, this is in Atlanta. Because it's ANF, or whatever you call it.
Porch pirate was somebody else.
Damn. She about to bust her ass.
Multiple times you tried to show him your video evidence. He didn't want to see it.
No, even when I called him back, he said, that's not my job.
You looked at a time of a crime. You saw my vehicle entering in the Flock.
No, what I did was, I did an investigation.
You called my wife a liar. You saying this is fact.
I have video evidence. I don't know what you want me to say.
The charges were dropped after Chrisana spent weeks trying to get the police chief to look at her evidence. Time-stamped video from her truck and a neighbor's doorbell camera showing she wasn't at the scene of the crime.
What does it say about where we are that you feel you have to have more cameras than...
And all they had to do is, like, wherever she was at, track her damn cell phone whereabouts. And she got one of the electric cars, track the whereabouts of that car. You know they can have access to that. These motherfuckers are stupid, man. But hell, even these Edomites are catching hell from these dumbass cops. Oh well.
Police have in order to make sure you can prove yourself innocent.
It sounds like it flipped the script to you're guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Without a Flock camera, that detective would not have been at her door. By his own admission, he pulled out the Flock picture of her car. Do you want to apologize to Chrisana Elzer for what happened to her?
No, he gonna say no.
Misusing the tools? I don't think that I have to apologize for him.
Like I told you, he ain't gonna apologize. Man, that nigga proud, man. He like, fuck that shit. Ain't my fault. If anybody gonna want an apology, shit, the cops should be apologizing. I ain't the one that harassing no family. But all you niggas should be apologizing. He won't meet it anyway.
He wasn't, other than being reprimanded for his attitude.
Sure, no, but I would tell you that, like, should I apologize for somebody misusing a tool? I don't think so.
Flock Safety Chief Communications Officer Josh Thomas.
Who's watching the watchers in these cases?
Well,
ultimately, it's Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah, but on the low level, nobody.
City Council, the city owns the data, so City Council would have the appropriate responsibility.
I guess so. I guess it would be them.
In that case, our point of view has always been that it is not Flock's job to police the way police do their work.
This is what they're doing to regular people. One glitch, one wrong ping, and your life stops. How long?
Man, that ain't shit. What about they went to the extreme? I don't know. They didn't ruin her life. She didn't lose a house, a family, and husband didn't divorce her, none of that shit. Hell, what about that story about Jake being accused? And it's not a Flock camera, but I don't know what was it. Oh yeah, it was any kind of camera. Cause you got all these cameras, they'll have that software with the facial recognition. They won Jake not too long ago, about a month ago, or some month. I don't know how. I don't know. It probably could have been like last year, but they talked about it a month ago in the news. About the guy here falsely accused of something he didn't commit, and he had to get locked up for some months, and the wife divorced his ass, lost his house, lost his family, his children, lost everything, lost his job. His life was ruined because he was falsely accused by AI, and Esau's still gonna say you guilty no matter what. But they held on to him. They had evidence showing that he was not the guy, but they didn't care. They kept him locked up. Man, tell you, boy, this ain't. Hey, man, let me get a scripture. When you see Edomite women get in trouble with this AI shit and these cameras and they cause false accusation, you know we in trouble. Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. Yeah, you know your ass in trouble when they messing with their own people. I don't know what else to tell you.
Until it's you. Well, these people aren't going to wait to find out. All across the country, ordinary citizens are taking direct action, cutting down these cameras with chainsaws and power tools. They're not waiting for permission. And then there's this guy, dropping a public service announcement with the straightest face possible.
So I can tell lots of you are very passionate about not damaging the Flock cameras, which is a good thing. We all very much want to protect the Flock cameras. So for public safety, to know what kind of laser to not shine around Flock cameras, you should definitely avoid going on Amazon and looking for a laser that shines between 490 and 570 nanometers and has more than 1,000 milliwatts of power.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. My friend Jason Basler has some pro tips for deflock hunters. Pro tip number 1, always leave your phone at home. Pro tip number 2, never film.
You got the fake face shit mask on.
Film yourself. Also, just wanted to point out that this mask is only $4.97 on Temu. Happy hunting. And one man.
So they got one for Israelites? Or he could be that Israelite could look like that shit. But he look more like a heathen. Or they got one that look like a so-called black or Latino. Shit.
Went full creative resistance. He built his own anti-surveillance rig, a camera, mounted on his chest, feeding live video to a big TV strapped to his back. The result is that it creates an illusion that he's not there, making himself invisible to the watching eyes.
This is the only device that allows you to legally evade America's surveillance system. Because my first attempt to not be recorded by the millions of cameras that track you everywhere you go didn't really go as planned.
You kind of look like clannish, doing something like that.
Clannish? So I invented something new to outsmart the cameras watching us and not be racist at the same time. It's essentially a giant backpack with a camera on one side that live streams to the TV mounted on my back, therefore obscuring my body and face, making me entirely invisible. It works pretty well on dogs. So I figured it'd work on surveillance cameras too. They're basically the same thing.
Sure, it's expensive to build and maybe a little clunky, but it just goes to show how far people might go to resist this. Groups like Flock Off Ithaca and deflock activists are mapping every single one of these cameras so people know exactly where they are. In fact, you can go to defrock.org and launch their map to see every single camera that might be near you. But the authorities are not ignoring this pushback. Federal agencies and fusion centers are now circulating reports warning about rising anti-tech extremism. They're afraid.
Yeah, you're gonna be considered a terrorist. Shit. And they're gonna send a drone to your ass and shoot your ass with it.
Naming regular people who just don't want to be tracked 24/7 as potential threats. Sound familiar? It's the same playbook used against every movement that challenges surveillance and control. But this isn't about being anti-police or anti-safety. It's about rejecting a system that treats every driver as a suspect. Shares.
Anyway, let's get to the next one.
This is really scary, especially for those of us who do content creation, but the EU's top court has ruled that individuals who repost RT videos online can be treated as sanctions violators and prosecuted, including facing prison terms under their new national laws. Actually, the laws aren't new. They have just expanded them. This was actually a law that they had passed in 2022. In March of 2022, the EU formally banned RT and Sputnik from broadcasting or having their content distributed within the European Union. And this was, they were basically sanctioning them. Well, a recent case came to the court where an individual, a private citizen, was reposting RT's content, and that person, essentially they decided that yes, individuals can go to jail for doing this. For reposting on platforms. What they did previously was they just banned, you couldn't access those platforms. I think you'd have to have a VPN in order to get around them and in order to watch RT. And now what they've done is individuals who share RT videos would be subject to jail time. Now what's really scary about this is the precedent at this point is that they're banning people who take full RT videos, let's say, they create a platform that's accessible in the EU and they republish them. So they're basically acting as a redistributor of the content. However, the law is extremely unclear, and you know how these things go. And the law basically says anyone who has posted any RT content faces jail time. That means me. That means any other political independent commentator would potentially be facing jail time. That's especially scary for me because I do live part-time in the European Union in Italy, and so there is a real possibility that I could be targeted and made an example of. And that is something that, so I won't be sharing, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I will not be sharing any more RT videos because I don't want to go to jail. And that is a really unfortunate thing about the lack of freedom of speech. And you know that as things escalate up against Russia, as Germany continues to warmonger against Russia, that they're going to ramp up and they're going to target anybody and everything.
Hell, Russia do the same thing too. Yeah, they be freedom of speech be hell, whatever. It's gonna be all worldwide, and I wasn't expecting this video to be talking about. I mean, I forgot about this video. I didn't even know I had it. I thought he gonna talk about cameras. Yeah, it's about freedom of speech. So if you're talking about freedom of speech, ultimately the family of the word. Let me get to something. Let me let the video keep playing. I'll get to it at the end.
Everybody. And if they don't like you for any reason, they'll dig up any reason in order to go after you. Which is why this is so absolutely scary. But the court said that the EU's existing sanctions-based broadcasting ban on RT applies not only to traditional media companies, but also to any natural or legal person directly or indirectly responsible for making RT content publicly available, including donation-funded bloggers. And what's crazy about this is, I don't know if you just go into the EU as a visitor and you're somebody who's published RT videos, maybe on social media, maybe you retweeted, you might actually be subject to this law. The CJEU itself did not create a new criminal law or set specific prison terms. Instead, it clarified that individuals reposting RT content can be treated as operators under the sanctions regime and thus can be prosecuted under existing national sanctions enforcement laws. In Germany, the test case cited in the ruling, violating EU sanctions on RT broadcasts can carry up to 3 months to 5 years in prison, which is why headlines are now saying that the reposting of RT clips can land you in jail, because it can. 3 months to 5 years. If you retweet RT videos, I mean, think about that. The court stressed that it is irrelevant whether the website is commercial or free, whether the content is donation funded, or how many people watch the videos. If you make RT material available to the public, you can be considered an operator violating EU sanctions. And they also don't care if the content's true. So it doesn't matter if it's true or false. You're going to jail if you share it. It could be the most true thing out there, and they're still going to say, nope, you're not allowed to share that. Legal analysts are saying this could have a major chilling effect on investigative or critical coverage that uses RT material as source evidence. Now, I will say that throughout the history of me doing this show is that I've shied away from using RT. So, and not because I don't like RT, I actually do like RT, but I've shied away from using RT, I shy away from using any state-run foreign media. I try, whether it be Press TV, whether it be RT, I always try to find the source in a more mainstream outlet. And the reason is because I want this show to appeal to people.
Whatever, anyway. Because even like someone like her and her independent news, man, shit, she controlled too. Because, yeah, all these niggas gonna be controlled. What is it? Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse, I'll read one, start with 1. To everything there is a season, and to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. And skip down to 5. A time to cast away stones, and a time, pretty much I'll get straight to the point. A time to keep silent. Time to keep silent. Well, matter of fact, let me get back to 5. Sorry. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get, and a time to lose. A time to keep, and a time to cast away. A time to rend, and a time to sow. A time to keep silent, and a time to speak. So I'm gonna start right there. It's like saying the point. I didn't want to skip. I felt kind of guilty at the moment to skip down to all this, and I'm like, no, let me get to here, start from there 5, and read on down till I get to 8. But yeah, the point is, there's a time to be silent. Right now, it's a time to speak, but it's gonna time silent, and all that shit. Yeah, banning certain news outlets from the so-called continent. There's the EU, the United Nations, and such. Or you so-called Europe, but it's really West Asia or Eurasia, and you're banning another news outlet. Damn, they're doing the same shit in America. They banned Russia time. Yeah, now they want to ban Russia time in Europe. Yeah, they all controlled anyway, or lying. They might put out some truth, but then they're somewhat twisted up. Let me see, what's something else I want to read. Yeah, here we go. Should I read that? Damn, where is it? Is that it? Oh yeah, Amos chapter 8 verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, and shall not find it. In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst. So yeah, you're gonna be looking for that truth. I mean, if they doing this shit, banning other countries' news outlets or whatever, man, they gonna be banning you preaching the word. You know that. Preaching the truth. Exposing these devils of who they truly are. They definitely gonna do that. Let's see what this video about. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me get another scripture. Cause all the shit that's going on, man, it's gonna lead to oppression. I'm praying, Lord, allow us to endure these oppressing times. Ah, shoot, I typed in the wrong thing. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So they've been planning this out for years, and they about to get to the point where, okay, it's time to go ahead and do it. All they need left is the chip implant, and they cover fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Hold on. You going outside? Bruh, you just ain't gonna, now you want to turn your butt around. Alright, fine. I thought you were gonna go outside. You standing there by the door. Hey man, why the hell did you shake? You could have gone outside and shook. Damn, shed little ass. That's all she do is shed, and then she gonna shake off the shedded fur. That shit gets annoying, bro. What's wrong with you? You walked up in the laundry room like you want to do some wash some clothes or something. Anyway, let's get to the lab video. But yeah, they gonna be using all this surveillance to oppress the shit out of people, mainly you Israelites. The hell with all you other folk. Or no, oppressing the shit out of the elect of Israel. The hell with the rest of you 2/3. Cause a lot of you niggas ain't gonna take heed anyway. So the hell with you. Now it's a 40-minute video, so I don't know how much I'll play. I don't even know where you're gonna start talking about some good stuff. But it says Child Protective Services or state what is this sanctioned kidnapping.
Joining us now is Ann Vandersteel. She's a co-author of the CPS Pipeline, State-Sanctioned Kidnapping. That's exactly.
So it ain't just about, this video, the video I'm making ain't just about surveillance, but it's a whole lot of shit. Oppression.
What it is. From the book, it says, this is a wake-up call to every American who believes families should be sacred, not state-controlled. Every year, thousands of American families are torn apart by Child Protective Services. Behind the language of safety and welfare lies a dangerous pipeline.
You Israelites. Shit.
A
Now
system
it's more like everybody now.
that profits from the removal of children, often without due process, and destroys families in the process as well. And of course also destroys the children. Thank you so much for joining us, Ann. And I'll mention you are a co-author of this book. You're also a co-founder of the American Made Foundation. Tell us just a little bit about that before we get into the CPS aspect of this. I'm sure that's broader than just CPS.
It is. American Made Foundation was basically formulated between myself, Maureen Steele, and Christopher Burns, who is an attorney that works with our foundation, and we look at our government and what is really wrong with it in terms of the fact we aren't running a constitutional republic, and we have been basically overrun by corporate autocracy and agency government, which has nothing to do with what the founding fathers had in design or had in mind.
Man, fuck them niggas. Them niggas are fucking pedophiles. You ain't talking about the founding fathers. Them founding fathers are a bunch of fucking freaks, bunch of pedo ass niggas. And they passed that behavior on down to the generation, the rest of you niggas.
Frankly, what God would have been for design.
Yeah, God about to, who y'all in the call? God about to destroy this bitch. America. He already got them. He already got them damn founding fathers on standby as slaves. Yeah, he got them on standby as slaves. And soon they come back, them niggas they're gonna be singing those old some slave songs, busting fucking boulders with stone or bricks busting boulders and bricks with fucking sledgehammers and shit, working as a slave. And you'll be giving somebody foot massages, whoever. I don't know. Anyway, let me shut up.
So we decided to pick a lane because our future is dependent on healthy children.
Yo, man, that shit weird, man. Her mouth, she got like the cartoon smile. It ain't just got that curve. It got the little things on the side. It's underneath the dimples.
And you can't make America great if you don't have families that are great. And so Child Protective Services, like all of these agencies...
She keeps appearing and reappearing. Yeah, that shit just appears and disappears.
Have nice sounding names but deliver the exact opposite of what the name would have you believe it's going to do. And so we picked that lane because we see the children as our future. And America can have a very bright future if their children aren't under siege. And I ask you, if I told you we have 500,000 hostages being held in America in a foreign country right now, would you not expect our military to go there?
Well, shit, we already hostages here in this bitch. In America. You Israelites? Shit. And a lot of us already been living here before these devils showed up and took us hostage to our own home. In our own earth, our own planet, we under hostage. Anyway, I can't help myself, bro. I gotta say what I gotta say. Fuck it. If you got a problem with, kick rocks.
Of course, it's always going to be, yes, go rescue Americans. But we have 500,000 children trapped as hostages inside this pipeline, this Child Protective Services pipeline of trafficking children. And we're doing nothing about it except, being gagged by courts. And we need to wake up to the reality that this agency known as Child Protective Services and all of its 50 other agencies by different names and across our country are just as complicit. And it's the taxpayer that's funding it. So I welcome this conversation. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for writing this book. And again, it is something that everybody needs to be aware of. We have a tremendous misconception misconception about this, just in the same way that the government is constantly telling us that they need to do one thing or the other to protect the kids, and it's usually not at all about the kids, and usually it's not going to protect the kids. We just had the Kids Online Safety Act, which is really not about protecting kids. It really is about getting a digital ID for everybody, and an ID to use the internet.
Yeah,
and so
it's just false. Worry about safety and shit. No, it's bullshit. At least say should get an advantage of us for we're not ignorant of his devices.
There's always this hidden agenda that is there. And this is something that should be even more concerning to everybody as we start to move forward. I'm very concerned about the data centers, that are so-called data centers. I call them surveillance centers.
Right.
And they're going to be able to audit everybody. And we've already seen in many cases CPS unleashed against people because somebody doesn't like the fact that they're homeschooling, or somebody doesn't like the fact they didn't get all their vaccines on the schedule demanded by the medical industrial complex, or there's a conflict about gender gaslighting that happens in our government schools. It takes a village to raise a child, doesn't it? Or maybe it takes a village to steal a child, doesn't it?
Well, starting with Hillary Clinton and the Adoption of Safe Families Act in 1997, right? That really kind of kicked this off and turned children into chattel they can monetize. Because from that, we really have seen that America has built a child welfare industrial complex where children can be removed from their homes, all under the color of law. You've got families being totally shattered when they don't bring meaningful due process. It's all based on hearsay, and these courts are all closed. Files are sealed, and billions of dollars can flow through a system that basically rewards the separation of the family instead of the preservation. This is what we title state-sanctioned kidnapping. It's just disgusting. And we need to know how the system works, who profits from it, and how parents and children are destroyed by it, because if you don't comprehend that, how can you fix it? And that's one of the reasons we wrote legislation to fix it. And we believe that Florida will be the first state to pass this kind of revolutionary overhaul in their legislation, which will reduce the intake into the system by 95% so that we can reduce the money coming into Florida to continue to fund that pipeline by 95%. When you don't have a need, you don't need the funds. One thing you probably know about DC is once they've appropriated money for something, you're going to have to spend it. So we're going to spend it somewhere else and make it more meaningful. But what they're doing to the families with CPS is just diabolical.
Yeah, and of course, the way they get around the 10th Amendment is by getting states addicted to the federal fiat currency and then bribing and blackmailing them to do whatever they wish. And of course, we didn't, you're doing...
All right, well, anyway, yeah, everything needs surveillance. And we're back when they talk about breaking up families and the children being separated from from a family. I don't know how that shit working, man, but man, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just sick and tired of this place. But soon shit's about to get worse, man. Seek the Lord. I don't have any other scriptures to read. Let me check. Sorry, I'm a little drowsy, so my mind ain't working like, ain't working with pinpoint accuracy at the moment. It's like lagging. But anyway, let me see what this is about. Flock. CEO calls activists terrorists. All right, let's pick this one.
Every once in a while, someone says something that completely changes the conversation. Not because they meant to, not because it was part of some carefully crafted marketing message. They just say something that makes you stop and think, wait a minute, did he really just say that? I think that's exactly what happened with Garrett Langley, the CEO of Flock Safety. Now, I've covered Flock cameras before, and I've covered automated license plate readers, connected cars, insurance companies buying your driving data, government surveillance, and just recently, Signal Trace, which takes vehicle identification to an entirely different level. I thought I had a pretty good understanding of where all of this technology was heading. Then I heard this interview, and honestly, I think the CEO just made one of the biggest mistakes of his career. Not because he misspoke, because I think he accidentally told us how the surveillance industry views the people asking questions. That's a big difference. He said the quiet part out loud. But before we continue, I want to remind you to like and subscribe and click that bell for notifications so you don't miss anything. We have a lot more coming on this subject. For years, we've heard the same message. These cameras are here to catch criminals. They're here to recover stolen cars. They're here to make neighborhoods safer. That's the sales pitch. And to be fair, these systems have helped solve crimes. Nobody is arguing that criminals shouldn't be caught. That's not what this discussion is about. And frankly, I get tired of hearing that used to shut down every legitimate question about surveillance. You can support law enforcement and still ask where the line should be. And these two ideas are not mutually exclusive. The interview with the CEO from Flock Cameras took a turn when the discussion shifted away from technology and toward a group called D-Flock. Until a few days ago, most people never even heard of them. And if I walked into a room with 100 people and asked who D-Flock was, I'd be 99% sure that none of them had a clue. I certainly hadn't spent much time looking at them because, frankly, they weren't driving the conversation. Well, they are now. Before I tell you why, I want you to hear Garrett Langley's comments yourself. Exactly what he said. And this is important. I don't want anyone saying his words were taken out of context or edited to fit a narrative. Listen to what he said exactly, and then we'll talk about it. I've listened to this interview several times, and here's what jumped out to me.
everywhere and increased surveillance everywhere. There's an organisation called DFLOC, who are semi-well known now, I guess, if you're interested in this stuff, who take a fairly aggressive approach in terms of counting the number of cameras and having a Discord channel where they talk about potential, activities to move against FLOC and stop it expanding. What do you think of that organisation and the way they go about their business?
Yeah, so I think there's really two groups of activists. You've got organizations like the ACLU and the EFF who take an above-board approach to fight for their point of view. And thankfully, we live in a beautifully democratic, capitalistic country where we can fight in court. And I have a lot of respect for those groups because they have reasonable debates and we follow the law. And then unfortunately there's terroristic organizations like DFLOC, whose primary motivation is chaos. They are closer to Antifa than they are anything else. And that I think is unfortunate because we don't want chaos, or I don't want chaos. I like law and order. I like a society that has a bedrock of safety. So for those groups, I think it's just...
So you mean to tell me that somebody who's against FLOC just saying they consider to be a terrorist? Yes. Even if you ain't even trying to physically harm their equipment and vandalize their equipment, but you just don't like FLOC cameras, you're a terrorist.
Disappointing that they haven't...
If you want to try to hide your face from a FLOC camera, you're a terrorist. Man, please. You don't even have no problem with FLOC like that, but if you hide in your face your identity, you got something to hide, so you a terrorist.
Productive mannerism to try to get what they want, which they have a right to have, but that's why we have a democratically elected process, right? We're not forcing FLOC on anyone. Elected officials know that as a community, you want to be safe. As a family, you want to be safe. And FLOC is the best way to create a safe community.
I'm not sure DFLOC would agree with
Safe community. No, they gonna be saying that. They gonna push that same he gonna say that same shit when they start pushing the chip implants, the mark of the beast. We need a safe community. Get the chip. Yeah. If you want to be safe, get that chip.
Terroristic label that you put on them, but okay.
Let's start with the facts, because I'm not interested in exaggerating the story. Garrett Langley didn't say everyone who criticizes FLOC is a terrorist. He did not say everyone sharing camera locations is a terrorist. That's simply not true. And if we're going to criticize someone, we should criticize them for what they actually said and not what social media wishes they had said. What he did say is that DFLOC is a terroristic organization. Those are his exact words. Now here's one.
Anyway, I ain't gonna play no more. If you want to watch the rest of the video, they go to title, they go channel. I wasn't expecting to play this video. I'm thinking, did I ever play? No, I played somebody else's video speaking about this, I believe. But anyway, I played enough. It's already an hour long. I wasn't expecting to be on here that long, but anyway. But seek the Lord by seeking His prophets and take heed of what it say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worship Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, and repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and none but the truth, in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preach, keep on teach, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah. Stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.